I'm going to show how to make a little eraser shooter using a traditional mechanical pencil that has the action in the back, not the one that's on the side here, but just in the back. And this one still actually has lead in it, so I'm just going to remove that so we don't break those when we break this open. And we used to make these in school, and I thought it was so cool. I don't know who came up with it first or who found out, but it was like magic to me. So the first thing you do is you can take the eraser out, empty the lead out. If you have one that's already in the chamber, you'll have to click it out and pull it out through the front. And then I'm going to score this with the scissors anywhere along kind of this band here. I got to stay roughly an inch up from here because there's a little spring in here that we're going to use. So try to cut roughly in the middle here, and you can just score that with scissors and then break it apart. And you actually could probably get away with not doing this step, and you'll just have to pry it open a little bit with a piece of the remaining pencil, but that will make more sense here. So I've scored the outside, and I'm gonna slowly bend it back and forth until it snaps open in all four directions. Just take your time here. It will eventually fail and break open for you. And there's two cylinders in here. Luckily this is a clear one, but I don't know if you can see on the camera. There's the black interior with the clear outside, so it's kind of cool you to see. We're going to break through both of those. And you can already see it failing there. So I keep bending it here. Almost all the way through. And now we're going to do the same thing for the piece on the inside. So now this is important here. We're going to need the interior piece to be slightly longer than the exterior piece here. And usually if you can cut through all at the same time, the way the pencil's designed, it will automatically give you that little gap, will automatically result in extra space over here. But since I broke through pretty slowly, I'm going to have to pull this all the way back and make sure that I cut towards this end of the pencil so I have that longer portion of the black interior. But to help me out, I'm going to rescore that portion. And then just repeat the bending back and forth. This one's failing rather quickly. Let's twist that last piece off there. So as you can see, there's a little extra room over here which is important for it to work. And it slides pretty good in here. We'll have to splay this out a little bit with, I usually just use the tip here and rock it around to open up that plastic a tiny bit, so now it slides really smoothly. I'm going to put that aside and we're going to work on this piece here. This can be a challenge, but there's a little spring in here that we need. So we're going to pull this out and break it, and it's attached by a spring, so you got to pull it with a little force and then break this here. Which that's a really gummy piece of plastic, so it's hard to break on this particular model. There we go. And actually, I don't know if you could see that on the camera, but once I broke that piece, the entire piece fell apart, and then the spring we're looking for came out too. So a lot of times that happens. You just want to make sure that you're on some sort of flooring where this won't roll all over the place on you. So once we have that, we're going to go back to the original piece and we're going to put that spring into that interior cylinder, and just like with the brake on the outside, the plastic kind of has rolled in there, so I'm going to have to splay that out just a little bit with that other piece to make room. So I'm going to roll it around, not dramatically, just enough to get a little more room in there. We can see if it fits. If it doesn't, we just simply go back and do that. And we need to do it a little bit more. And a lot of times the plastic will actually crack on you, and it will still work if it is, but it just might fall out and you'll have to replace it after shooting it. But I'm just putting the point in there and rocking it around to try to widen this opening on the interior piece of plastic. I think this should work here. Just need to find the spring again. Fell off. No, it didn't. Where the heck did the spring go? Oh, right here. Alright, sorry about that. We're going to find the opening, put the spring in there, and push it all the way in so it goes in straight. Make sure maybe like a fifth of it or more gets jammed into that opening, and try to make it as straight as possible. And now you basically have your gun. You're going to slide this back down, and I can see that I need to open this up a little more so it slides a little easier. And then we put the eraser we took off right into that hole. And then to shoot, you push. And now that is way across the room, so I have no idea where that went. Ideally you wouldn't shoot it into a wall that's 2 feet away. But that's a simple little mechanical pen shooter.